All right, welcome to the Iron Seas. We got some big news that just happened very recently with the biggest booktuber there is, Daniel Greene. There is some
Yep.
SA allegations that are going against him. And from what we can see in his Discord, which we got a notification for, it seems like everybody is just
A lot of people are buying into it. Yeah, a lot
buying
of people
into
believe
it,
it.
right? The innocent to proven guilty, completely thrown out in this circumstances. And I think it'd be kind of interesting to kind of go through the evidence that is presented and see how we kind of feel about it, which of course we've already seen it before. We already have some opinions formulated.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I think it's, generally speaking, I think it's kind of crazy that's just all believed, and it seems like nobody is on the wait situation. And look, to nobody's surprise, Daniel Greene's a very liberal person. The audience that he has built, it's kind of like, no
Mixed
duh,
bag
this was going to
audience.
happen. And this was going to be what was happening, right? And then you have people like us who are more on the right and kind of more the anti-woke, right? Which is what people would say. And we, generally speaking, people on our side just don't care. We're like, all right, whatever, reap what you sow. We're like, we stand for truth. And we kind of want to just look at this, try to a little bit, let's say, objectively.
Give a little analysis on it, essentially.
Yeah, and we're going to do a lot of speculation. There's going to be a lot of speculation, but I don't know what else that we have else to do, because there's some things that are evidence, but nothing that's absolutely anything that's concrete evidence that is to SA. And so, yeah, I think this is important to talk about. And this is very topical with cancellation and everything that's been happening for years, and seems like it's still going on. And
with the recent Neil Gaiman allegations and pretty much admissions as well. It's very topical right now, and so we figured this is something close to our hearts. We should cover it. I know, Joe, you used to watch Daniel Greene. I've watched him in the past as well, and so this is going to be interesting.
Yep. Same.
Right. I mean, like, yeah. I lost my train of thought. Let me just share the screen. This is the person that has accused him of the SA, Naomi Kings. Don't know who it is. And listen, there's going to be people that are going to hear our opinions on this, and you're obviously going to disregard us. Fine, sure, whatever. But, you know, if you're just listen to what we got to say. I already know people are going to not want to listen. So
yeah, you're free to form your own opinion, though. That's fine. That's kind of like what we're all here for. Is to
comment down below. We'll laugh at it, or whether it's good or bad. It's
let's all figure out what the most likely outcome of this is together. How about that?
And I do have to address something real quick that's going to piss people off. The whole pronoun situation. Sorry, that's not happening. This person's not a they them. So
no.
Sorry, whatever. Let's just get that out of the way, because if anyone's like, oh, respect your pronouns.
Anyway, this chick is going to have a video here, and we're going to watch it. Let's go.
Yeah.
She's presenting that way.
Hi guys! 2 years ago, YouTuber Daniel Greene threatened to wipe me off of social media. So if I disappear, you'll know who did it. If this behavior occurs again, action will be taken against you to block you from all social media platforms. We will take action to remove your site and prevent you from further posting. Let's talk about why. In June of 2023...
So cease and desist was sent to her a while ago. Now, this is obviously something official, right? Pretty harsh reaction from Daniel, and it does make him look kind of like he's trying to cover something up, right? So,
but you also see the same thing for people who are being harassed as well. A cease and desist can be for that as well. Like, we need to see the full body of the document and see everything that it says, not just the little snippets that have been cut out and shown us.
Well, I think we do see the whole letter for the most part, but even so, it's like the intent behind sending it could be for anything. Well, it can't be for anything, but it's just like, it doesn't necessarily say like, oh, you're guilty because you're trying to hide it. It's like, no, sometimes it's like they are trying to prevent something that they're not credible for or whatever.
Well, also, I'll add that, you got to treat allegations like this really seriously. And some would argue that immediately jumping to a cease and desist and stuff like that is probably not even an underreaction. You know what I mean?
Right.
Probably
Well, we
very
need to. There,
reasonable.
Well, especially
more
if
information may come out or may not. But yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's not true. If someone is making
That's what I'm
this
saying.
serious of an allegation, that's a very serious thing to accuse someone of. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, if it's not true, the cease and desist makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
I made a video and posted it here on YouTube. It was titled A Conversation About Manipulation, Consent, and Assault. It was...
And we're going to go over that video as well, but just very briefly because you only need to go over like 2 minutes of it. Because it does add some context to some of the motivations that occur in this.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, and I don't think a lot of people are going to watch that video. But yeah.
A general video on, just a discussion of consent and assault and all that. In it, I gave a very brief and vague personal example. I said that I had a friend turn out to not be a friend, and that he assaulted me, and that I had been in contact with a person who said he assaulted her. Again.
So the contact with the other person that was assaulted, there's nothing shown with that, and also that person, there's not really much credibility to that claim, right? But in that video, she said that it's somebody that she had been really, really good friends with for 3 years. The internet does what the internet does. She has over 100,000 subs. People probably can find out very easily who it was. So doing the whole I never said who it was. I'm like, bro, people looked into that, right? Like people are going to.
We can pull back the curtain in the modern day,
right? So it's like, yeah, you didn't name him, but people put 2 and 2 together, especially with some evidence that's thrown up later that they were in Vegas. What if he took a picture when he was in Vegas too? It's like, dude, the internet will figure that out. So I don't think that's really a valid claim, but yeah.
I did not identify who I was talking about at all. I did not say what this person's name was. I did not describe what they looked like. I did not describe where they lived, where they were from, what they did for work. Nothing. 8 days later, I received a cease and desist from Daniel Greene's lawyer, threatening me with a lawsuit, demanding that I take that video down in 24 hours, or they would sue me for slander and defamation, they would bury me under legal fees, and they would wipe me off of social media.
And this is why, and again, context there could have been a text conversation that would be like, oh, this response was reasonable.
Right.
But off the bat, it's like, yeah, with that video, without naming names, it does seem unreasonable. But we do know that they talked after the video and before this letter. So it's, again, a big gap of information that we all have, and we're all kind of just can only make assumptions, right?
Yeah. People are going to present the side they want to show, obviously, too.
Right.
And the fact is, a lot of these kind of cases are somewhere in the middle of what, neither side is telling the whole truth. They're trying to say what they need to say in order to win. And that is how these cases are run, because I've seen this kind of stuff in person. It doesn't bring out people's best, so to say.
No.
Again, I never said that video was about Daniel. Not once. I never identified who it was about. I go to Vegas often to get tattooed. Daniel knows that. In fact, that was something that I said to his lawyer. I told his lawyer, I go to Vegas often to get tattooed. Daniel knows that. If he thinks that video's about him, that just says something about how he views his own behavior. So I did not take that video down. They gave me 24 hours, or they would sue me. I never heard back from his lawyer. And
I'll say it's pretty. I'm not a cease and desist expert, but look, from what I've heard, it's like, yeah, they just tried to scare you. It's not saying that that's right that they do that, but it seems to be common from cease and desist. It's like just an intimidation thing.
Most people will crumble before any legal paperwork whatsoever. Truth is.
Right. Yeah, and they just want to be like, hey, we're going to do this. And then it's usually just an empty threat. Not saying that's cool, but yeah, it tends to be. Despite the fact that I asked her a direct question, she called him a medical professional. As far as I know, I don't think he's a doctor. Yeah, it was sent out. It was obviously sent out very hastily. I think they meant to say media professional or something, but that is a goofball mistake from a lawyer.
Anyway, he's a doctor now, so
I'm assuming that was a typo, or they forgot to remove it from the template. I sent this cease and desist to someone, and she's read a lot of them in her life, and she said that this was one of the most aggressive cease and desists she had ever read in her life.
So just a friend?
Yeah,
Just
just
like
a friend.
not even a lawyer? Not even a
Yeah,
lawyer?
it's a professional. Trust me, bro.
Her little sister?
Yeah.
She sent this to her daughter or something? Like what?
I mean, it does look
Her own
like it's a
daughter. How
very
old do you think
aggressive
she is?
cease and desist. It is, but I'm like, again, this is like the smallest thing that she does, where it's trying to like kind of emotionally control the narrative.
I'm also from the construction world. I've seen cease and desist that make this look like a polite.
We will ruin you.
Yeah, basically. I've seen much more aggressive litigation and paperwork, so to say. So
Right. I mean, still, whatever.
She also said that if she hadn't known what this was about, she would have thought it was a cease and desist in regards to a bad review on Yelp for a doctor. Because they brought up Yelp like 8 times. They didn't want me talking about him ever again. But again, I never said.
Maybe I didn't see the whole legal document. I don't know. Maybe I have to. She did a whole thing just like scrolling and saying to pause. I'm like, Yelp's mentioned? What?
yeah, there's 3 or 4 pages there, possibly more.
That video was about him. Now, they also accuse me of harassment and invasion of privacy, which I'm not afraid to address. I have nothing to hide. After what he did to me in Vegas, I reached out to his partner, because I needed her to know that what had happened, I didn't want. I know what it's like to move country for somebody and then find out that they're a lying, cheating piece of shit. I needed her to know that I didn't want it. I needed her to know.
Yeah, she's not leading us into the story. She kind of just jumped into a part.
She's in the future, not in the past. She's not in the beginning of the narrative.
Yeah, I will say, like, I remember somebody's friend, a friend of my wife, when she was my girlfriend, hit on her, and she told that person's girlfriend, and that person just became very nasty to them, right? And was just like, shut up. So that's kind of how it sounds like this, but who knows?
Know that he was sober and wide awake. Fucking done crying about this shit.
Is it right there? It's painting a really bad picture, right? It's like, oh, he was sober, I was not. Okay, well, let's get into what was going on that happened, right?
I was sober and wide awake, and I was half asleep and on drugs, which he knew.
Yeah, so the first time I watched this, I didn't have the video. I was listening to the audio. So we got a text saying, dope, I'm going to try and sleep on the plane, so I have night energy. 840 milligrams of edibles.
Also, I need to point something out. Look at the profile picture. It's like a profile picture like from YouTube. Like for his identity as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not weird, but like in text, that feels weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
A little bit weird.
Gonna go to the pool now. Holy fuck, how high are you going to be? A good amount. 50 mil, like, it's just taking a crazy amount of edibles. What are they doing?
That's
right?
nothing.
They're
That's
meeting.
nothing.
They're meeting by the pool in Vegas. She's getting blasted.
They're meeting in a hotel room. I guess it goes in further, right? Like,
I have to push back on the edible amount too, because like there's some people who have to like start at 100 to feel anything.
That's so much for like yeah. I get it depends on your tolerance.
So to Daniel, this is like every day. He's like, "What? I'm just doing my edibles. It's 4:20, so I'm doing a little more." But
well, it's not Daniel taking the edibles. She's saying I'm taking the edibles.
Oh, she's saying that. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is just like, basically, I was I was unable to consent because of the drugs.
Gotcha.
But as we're gonna like see, it seems like this whole thing was premeditated.
Like they were going to hook up and it was planned.
Like as far as we know, it's like, bro, you guys we're sharing a hotel room. You're on a friendcation. What?
It's stuff like this that makes me think men and women can't be friends. Sorry.
No, absolutely. Like friends, like colleagues, sure, but like as good of friends as they say they are, like no, you can't.
Yeah.
I had arrived in Vegas in the morning, and I spent 4:20 just getting baked by the pool, taking 40 milligram edibles all day
Okay.
because it was fucking 4:20. I went to sleep because
Like, what? You weren't in Vegas just to get a fucking tattoo. Like,
I already have to point out some slight misconduct in addition to that is she's like literally her logic here is because it was 420. Duh. Like, okay, just chill out and explain it to us, lady. You don't have to be like condescending to us, if you're on drugs and you view it as drugs, then just say that. But judging by these texts, it seems like you're pretty comfortable with this, to be honest. And from my
it seems like you're probably high like this all the time. Like, if you're taking that many edible, like if I did that, I don't have a tolerance, right? So like one of those would knock me on the floor.
If it was me, I'd be doing this every time I go to Vegas to get tattooed, to be honest. Yeah.
because his flight was going to land late in the evening, and it would be about midnight before he would arrive. I specifically asked him to bring coffee if he wanted to stay up and talk.
Bro, this is the funniest part. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh at this. I specifically asked for coffee. Vegan coffee. Like,
What? Really?
I specifically asked him to bring coffee.
He did not bring the coffee, guys.
No, bring up that screenshot again. Bring up that screenshot again.
I think the problem here is that she's. I think a bit like brainstorm for a second. This is true. Imagine all of this is true. This looks very, very petty. If this is all true.
Okay. Right. I don't know why, like, what the point of that was. It's like, I get what she's trying to say. She's trying to say it's like, oh, the caffeine would have woke me up.
Yeah.
I'm like, but like at the point, like it wouldn't matter how much caffeine you have. Like if you're as high as you are, it's like a fucking coffee, a vegan coffee ain't gonna help. This is some interesting factoid that we need to keep in mind. All right. So got on board of the Wi-Fi, how to watch it. Well, there's nothing, right? Nice. Could you buy iced coffee or something when you're at CVS? So he's like, what? He just landed, got on board. Oh, he's on the flight. So keep this in mind. There is the intent for him to go to CVS. That's a weird tidbit, right? Like
a little bit.
He's going to go to CVS before they meet up.
Chill.
What's a CVS, guys? What's a CVS?
Condoms.
Ooh, yeah.
I was gonna say, isn't that like a drugstore kind of thing?
Well, again, it's like a lot. Well, you can get like groceries and stuff like that, right? Like if it was phrased if like, hey, I'm at CVS, do you want anything or something like that? It's like, okay, cool, right? Whatever. Like CVS was right there, but like this seems like they're scheduling him to go to CVS. There's also something mentioned later, and again, I hate this is out of order, but apparently she's unable to self-lubricate.
Also,
so
look how many smiley faces. Look how many smiley faces he's putting in his text. He thinks they're gonna bone. No guy puts this many.
There's no world with all the stuff we're gonna look at. There's no world that they didn't have like the intentions of boning on meeting up, and that's what I'm saying. Like allegedly, I think he went to CVS to go get lube, or he was planning on going to CVS to get lube because the self-lube or condoms or something, right?
In Minecraft, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just wanted that to be noted because I was like really interested. Like, why CVS? Like, God forbid he forgot the coffee. He forgot the coffee. That was specific. That must be evidence that he had ill intent. Like what? Please make sure it's one.
I specifically asked him to bring coffee. He said, "Nope, let's just sleep. We'll hang out in the morning."
It's like she talks about him like taking out all this money for him. It's like, can you imagine he denied her coffee?
The nerve of seeing people.
It does come across as very petty, regardless, and it's hard not to laugh a little bit because of the way she presents it.
Well, it's again, she tries to act like the essay was like premeditated, and I'm like, it sounds like you're the one that took the edibles on your own volition. Like, where is it him like trying to like, you know, when like a guy is like, oh, here, take a drink, you know, get drunk. It's like, no, she just was getting fucking high off edibles on her own volition.
Yep.
But he didn't get me any caffeine, so it was premeditated.
Yeah.
He turned up at midnight, sober and awake, and pressured me, half asleep and on drugs, into sexual things that he and I had agreed beforehand would not happen.
What kind of conversation were you guys having? Like, you were staying in the same like, apparently, from what it sounds like, they're staying in the same room. We're pretending, or we're gonna pretend that they had a friendcation, and in
They had
Vegas,
a conversation about not boning.
had a conversation about not boning, and
Also,
they're showing up.
Is she going to show those texts?
No,
Right?
she's very specific about what text she does show.
Yeah, she's not going to show those texts. I don't think those texts exist.
There's probably a lot of talk about, like, you know, there's like, because it seems like he definitely cheated on his girlfriend at the time, which I think is now his fiance.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's just like, yeah, that's scummy, but like, that's not what we're here to like talk. Like, that's a different topic, right? I mean, like, that's between you and your family. But like, sexual assault allegations, it's a whole different thing. So it's like, yeah, you guys definitely plan to meet up to have sex. I like pretending otherwise is just silly. Like, nobody. I want to say nobody's that stupid, but like, people are watching this being like, she's so emotional.
Well, it's also the case of like where anytime like there's a male feminist, like, don't trust them around women. Isn't that like
a trope?
Well,
yeah?
also,
isn't that pretty much like universally trouble?
Yeah. And also this, she keeps saying, I think she said it like 3 times now. We specifically said that wouldn't happen.
Yeah. How much did you guys talk about not fucking?
Yeah. How much were you talking about banging beforehand where you needed to stress that so much? It's almost like you guys know that you want to bang each other that bad.
Well, if that's a conversation that you're having, in what world do you get a room together?
So let's go to Vegas together, baby.
Like, you knew he was going to show up at 12. His flight landed at like 12 or 10 something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we pretending here?
Mm-hmm. What? Oh.
Sorry. I repeatedly asked him if we could just sleep and talk in the morning.
Oh.
I was halfway through a sentence when he pushed me over and shoved his tongue in my mouth.
So, I mean, again, this is her side of the story, right? So it's like, and this is where I said we're going to have to cover the other part of the video, because the other part of the video kind of paints a much different story.
He repeatedly tried to stick his penis in me, saying, come on, just a tip. I repeatedly pushed his penis away, saying, I'm not having sex without lube, I'm not having sex without lube, I'm not having sex without lube.
Yeah, not having sex without lube. That's why I'm like, I think he went to CVS to get lube. But also it's 420, so maybe they were sold out of lube.
Right.
Now, again, we don't really know. We're just giving our impression.
No.
Everything she's saying could possibly be true.
Right.
It's just presented in a very weird way so far.
Right. But it's presented like, she's presenting how she feels, right? But again, this is the part where it's like, this is just, guys, innocent to proven guilty, right? Which, again, how do you prove this? I don't know. Something that happened so long ago. But again, that's why the other video is important for this context and where I am with my opinion on this.
Because I have medical conditions. One of which is idiopathic hypogonadotropic hypogonadism. It can make sex very painful for me. I cannot self-lubricate or stretch, which he knows. He kept trying to shove it in me. I kept pushing his dick away, just repeating, I'm not having sex without lube, I'm not having sex without lube. Jerking off onto me.
So, I mean, like, that is sexual assault, right? Like, that is... Yeah. She's saying no repeatedly.
If it happened how she is presenting it right here, that is definitely sexual assault.
But again, if what she says in the other video is true, it contradicts what she's saying here.
Bad sauce, you're giving us just the tip here. You gotta like stop teasing us.
Moaning.
With this other video.
I'm pushing the tip away, actually, but no, I can't make it. That's dark. I'm sorry.
It was fucking disgusting. The shit he said. I was
I'm just waiting for the comment of somebody being like, disgusting how you can laugh. I'm like, bro, she was like, I asked for vegan coffee and he didn't get it for me. I'm
after
sorry.
sleeping on drugs.
And then cut to crying.
I didn't fucking want it. He told me he wanted to take me on a friendship trip. He told
Okay. A friendship trip to Vegas.
If that's
I wanna
true, that's a
take you on
huge
friendship.
and spoil you. This sounds like a sugar baby relationship. What do
What's
you
the
mean?
part of the conversation? Come on.
And then she agreed to it, right? So
Yeah, it's just like okay, maybe it is a circumstance where they're like the conversations are like it's just friends. I'm like, you're both playing dumb and you both know what you're going to Vegas to do.
Yeah, because like this, like if you see this and you're like, okay, biggest red flag of all time.
Yeah,
I got like I like hypothetical. I like we go out, we have a barbecue thing again. AC, I come up to Katie. I'm like, hey, how about you and I go on a trip, just us? It's not weird. Promise, it's not weird. It's fine.
oh yeah.
See, like,
That's cool with me,
no
brother.
questions.
That's cool with me, brother.
Well,
Let me know when you're back.
It seems
I know
to be
you and I are cool though, but like I would also never do that because that's
Right,
weird, right?
It seems to be Daniel's MO or whatever is that he says he's going to visit his dad. I don't know if his dad's in Vegas or whatever, but yeah, that seems to be his alibi. Where he's I guess he's telling his girlfriend at the time, get away with the lie.
I think I remember that. Yeah, he had videos about visiting his dad, and I think his dad was like in California or something. But
yeah, there was a Discord message where he said that like, where he told him like, oh, because there was a whole thing with Tennessee and situation, and he's like, oh, I was there to visit my dad. You think I'm gonna like also try to have sex while I'm there? It's like, yeah,
yeah. What do you mean?
Of course you are. I mean, not everyone, but like probably
if you're a gooner, if you're a guy who goes out there and like tries to hook up with strangers, then yeah, you do it at any opportunity you have, man. That's
like that's not a good
your lifestyle
justification or excuse or whatever.
told me he wanted to spoil me as a friend.
This
come on, you're not nobody's dumb, right?
Even like also the beginning of the sentence, not to Vegas. Like we're just missing a lot of context here. Like this is obvious. Like we're going on a journey. It's like going through a museum and then someone's only pointing out like every eighth thing and trying say like this is the whole experience.
I'm gonna like come on, he's paying you, giving you gifts in return. Have sex. Come on.
We agreed beforehand we were just friends. He turned up at midnight and immediately went against his word. I didn't have time to fucking think. Anyway, I reached out to his girlfriend because I felt like shit. And I know what it's like to be cheated on, and asked me for the truth.
Yeah, that's good. You know, getting cheated on for 2 years.
Yeah, what for 2 years? What exactly went on behind my back between you two?
Yeah, and again, what happened for 2 years? It's like, dude, this was not like, oh, it's just this one weekend. We just planned this random friend trip to Vegas.
Very important,
bro. You guys have been doing shit behind the scenes.
Three hypotheticals here. One hypothetical, maybe they had just been friends, and then like what she's saying is true, and he just overstepped, and then he's a piece of shit based on this behavior, but based on what she's saying being true.
Yeah.
Second scenario, they've been fuck buddies for years, and Kayla, like the girl, like fiance, has suspected it for a while.
Yeah.
And then what she's saying is not necessarily true, or is true, but it's because she started feeling guilty and changed her mind. And like I've
feeling
seen
guilty,
that too.
Or he won't be extorted anymore. Yeah.
And it's again, I need the context of the next video. Or is she upset that Daniel didn't choose her? And that she was told by Daniel and promised by Daniel that they would have a relationship and that she probably would leave Kayla for her. And then
it never materialized.
And then it didn't happen. Yeah. And then she attempted again. This is a theory, but I'll back up my theory with some claims later. But then told Kayla in an attempt to get Kayla to be like, oh, what a piece of shit, which again, piece of shit move, cheating on your, girlfriend,
Yeah, dude.
to attempt to get her to break up with her boyfriend. And then, oh, well, now he's single. Or some bitches are fucking crazy. And sometimes they just want to ruin relationships. That's also a possibility.
I will toss out, Daniel Greene does not come across as a morally virtuous person. To me, he comes across as someone who likes to signal that he is virtuous, aka virtue signaling, because that's what he does whenever he talks about his beliefs or politics on stuff. Like, basically shut down. It's like, I used to be a fan, but when he started talking about more of that stuff, I stopped listening as often.
I bet he could party.
Yeah, and those people are usually trying to show their good side so that they look better than they really are. It's not always the case,
like
but it is.
I'm going to bring it up again, like the virtue signaling with the pronouns. Because again, the Discord was full of like, oh, I feel so bad for her. I feel so bad for her. And then there was so many, every single one, every person, everyone. It was like hundreds. Edit. Oh, I'm silly goose. I missed the correct pronouns. It's like, okay. All right. Sure, guys.
Yeah, that's the issue here.
She asked me for the truth. I was at the airport when I received that message. I headed home to send her the truth. By the time I got home, she had asked me to leave her alone, which I completely understood. So I respected that and I left her alone. A handful of days later, she reached out to me again to call me a vile, despicable human being.
Now, she said, you both are vile. So that means she probably found out
over years. Over years, right there. What the hell?
Yeah,
they probably were having a relationship, mainly emotional relationship.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, if it's distance, right? I just like, I feel like from this,
she didn't even say the right thing. She said, "You are vile." Like, she's misquoting the quote she's putting on the damn screen.
Yeah, which is fair. She edited it after the fact, right? Like I've
maybe
made mistakes like that, but
yes, maybe she got it wrong, but it does depict it as a very different state. Like, play it like back up 10 seconds. Let's try this again.
Yeah,
so I respected that and I left her alone. A handful of days later, she reached out to me again to call me a vile, despicable human being.
I mean, that's not
it
wrong.
Presents it. It's not wrong, but it presents it differently.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I've been saying a lot about this is it's presented in a very emotionally and manipulative way. That doesn't necessarily mean that the stuff is not true. It's just presented in an emotionally manipulative context.
Yeah.
Which makes it seem not true. Because if it's the truth, if this is what happened, you don't need to manipulate with emotion. Just tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
You can matter-of-factly state all the things that happened and then just show receipts, highlight, move on to the next point.
Well, again, it's like, okay. I mentioned the whole story with my wife, like in the past, with not believing it. It could be a situation where her name's Kayla, right? That she is just like not believing the whole situation. But the thing is, she's saying you both are vile. So it's not like she's taking Daniel's side and like letting him get away scot-free. It seems like they settled
over
things.
Years. Yeah.
Over years.
But yeah, it seems like
good night.
Like, I need more context on this from what she said and what you're presenting, because it seems like there was more than what you are saying. It seems like you're leaving out a lot of information.
Like,
and
there's
again,
a skeleton in your closet you're trying not to bring up.
Well, again, this information of what where I'm kind of thinking with what Kayla's saying is backed up in the other video.
It was that message that made it very clear to me that she had been asking him for the truth, and he was still lying. There's no way in fucking hell you do that to me. And then,
well, why would she be lying?
Yeah,
why would because you're like assumed innocent in this entire thing.
Also, why would you go on a say what she's saying is true? Why would you go on a friendship with somebody who is begging me for an affair? I talked to him about down from cheating multiple times. Why would you put yourself in this situation if all of this is true?
It's just
This
like you
is
have to be the most
crazy
stupid
talk.
person to be like, oh, he's gonna spoil me in Vegas and we're not gonna fuck. I like get out. Nobody's that stupid. I'll be like, come on, get the fuck out of here. You were going there to
some
fuck.
people are.
You-
Some people are.
You knew it. Again, I don't have the evidence to say that you knew it, but it seems like you knew it.
She does. That's the thing. You can also kind of show us that conversation you guys had where apparently you repeated over and over that specifically this was
And she hasn't shown that conversation.
this
I don't think she
negotiation.
will.
Yeah.
I
because
talked him down from cheating multiple times. Again, and also, why are you taking edibles around this guy and sharing a room?
If he's such a
Like,
cheater.
it's just-
yeah.
It just look. It just seems like one of these situations, like, you know, she gets a little bit tipsy, and she's like, "Oh no, I think I had a little bit too much. I hope you don't take advantage of me."
Then she trips and lays her hand. Lays her hand on your leg.
I'm in this position. Please don't take advantage of me.
And then Caroline looks at you back and she's like, "Seriously, stop." No.
Again, if this did actually happen, we're really fucked up for joking, but
you gotta have humor. You gotta have humor. Yeah.
It also looks
Daniel,
really like it seems like she's contradicting herself with the evidence.
Bro, I'm waiting.
Well, imagine Daniel Greene is like, no, everything she said is true. We're gonna have a follow-up video. Well, boys, we fucked up on this one.
Yep. Whoops.
He's gonna pull a Neil Gaiman. Well, it's kind of true. Like these things are true, but not. I don't know.
So no, I'm waiting for the countersuit from Daniel, where he's like, she's only telling part of the truth. The actual plan was that she pegs me in Vegas every year.
Dude, Daniel's in a lose-lose situation because it's just it's for his crowd. If he tries to, push back or anything, like even legally or whatever, it's just gonna be publicly bad. And I don't think I know he's the biggest booktuber. I don't think he's made enough money to be like, oh, I'm financially set for the rest of my life.
No, not for the rest of his life. But this could ruin his career for sure.
Well, exactly. And then so it's just like, all right, might have to get a real job.
Yeah, and
play it.
And use me as a fucking scapegoat. Jesus Christ.
It was always the conventions that got him. So it's again,
you're making him sound like a convention addict. What do you mean?
I just
like he's like, oh, it's convention time. You know that means Daniel's horny.
yeah.
Fucking disgusting.
And you were friends?
So, because she had once asked me for the truth and made it blatantly clear she had been asking him for it and that he was still lying.
Okay, so to Kayla being like, you both are vile, you knew about him almost cheating all those times. He begged for an affair multiple times, and you kept that from her?
Yeah.
And you also are sharing rooms? I don't buy it. I think you're full.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It's just like, something's been going on. You said we're just friends, but he begged for an affair. Like this shit does not pass the sniff test at all.
Yeah, for all we know, it's the other way around, and she was the one pushing the peg into Daniel this whole time. And
it's probably both. Yeah, shut up.
I sent her 8 pages that I had written, because this is how I fucking deal with shit. If I have something to say with somebody, I write it down and I make them.
This means nothing. She doesn't show us what she wrote down. It's just her thoughts. This means nothing, but she's trying to show it like it's 8 pages, guys. It's 8 pages. It's like, okay, but 8 pages of what? And also, I'll have you guys know that Rachel Greene wrote 19 pages back to front. That's a Friends reference.
Yeah, that's funny.
Shit.
We were on a break.
And listen. This was written and read to Daniel weeks before all of this. 8 pages. 1.5 pages of this was me calling him out for the way he had been treating me for 3 years. And 6.5 pages was me calling him out for his behavior.
Guys, the 8 pages is kind of making the cease and desist make a little bit of sense.
I mean, I wasn't feeling it before, but now that she mentioned that it's 8 pages, I think I'm on her side.
Again, okay, it's like you didn't mention anything in the video about, like, you didn't accuse him of anything. But like, what if that was like the first thing, and then you also saw this, and in this 8-page document, it says how you like SA'd him or he SA'd you, and then it's like, oh shit, she's about to like unleash on me. I gotta take preventive measures. Like that's a possibility.
Right.
You're gonna say, Connor?
I'm baffled by the way this is
Behavior in
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Just play it. You're good.
relationships and all the shit that he had been saying
So this is another thing I want to point out too. She brings this up a couple times. I will probably always be a cheater, as if this is something. This seems like, look, and I discussed with AC earlier. It's like when you go to AA, not that I have been, but when you're an addict, you are always an addict. When you're a cheater, you're always a cheater. So it seems like this is potentially Daniel come to terms the fact that he is a cheater and that like you're always a cheater. Therefore, the only thing you could do is prevent continuing to cheat. That doesn't take the addiction out of you. It's kind of how that reads to me. I don't know about you guys.
Well, it sounds like justification for past behavior because it's not showing what she said before.
Right.
It's like, oh, we did that again. It's like I will probably always be a cheater.
Yeah.
That's such
awesome.
a plausible thing to have a conversation about. Anyway.
Well, I'm saying this is like after like the letters and then him go to therapy and stuff like that. But any of them could be true, right?
saying and doing behind his partner's back for 2 years. I had proof that I fucking fought for her. I had proof that I fought for their relationship.
You also just proved that you kept silent about his potential affairs. All of them. So let's make that very clear.
And that you guys are sharing rooms in Vegas.
Over years. Yeah.
I begged him to fucking talk to her for 2 fucking years.
What?
Only to have him lie to get me alone, pressure me into sexual things.
I guess she was telling him the whole time. I mean, okay, so maybe that's a whole thing. Like every time he begged for affairs, she's like, "You need to talk to your girlfriend about this."
Yeah.
Maybe that happened.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, it's.
I don't
becoming
think you
hard to
continue to be friends with that person though,
Mhm.
unless you want
Right.
something from them.
right. Yeah. Again, the follow-up video. The follow-up video.
Things that he agreed wouldn't happen, and then go home and use me as.
Well, again, you say that we agreed to not have sex. Where's those texts?
Agreed.
Yeah,
things
she
would
hasn't
happen.
shown them. She's talked about them a lot, and she hasn't shown them.
Those are on a phone call, not recorded. But yeah.
Okay, hear me out. This is satire for entertainment purposes only. No offense
Christ.
intended. No offense intended at all with the following statement. But hear me out. What if they're like, okay, well, I'll S your D, but you can't put it in my B this time. And he's like, okay, I promise I won't do that. And then, dang it, he put it in her B. So they were like, there was
Every
like
time.
sexual agreements already, and maybe
Yeah.
he did too many extra ones that they weren't. That she
Like
wasn't-
maybe she had a line where she's like, "All right, we can do this, but not this."
like, I'll give you a handy, we can bang, but like there's this other
Yeah,
thing. That's
maybe.
what she's painting it like. That's what it kind
we
of
got to get to the next video.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's burn through this. Come on.
His scapegoat. She wanted the truth. He was still lying. He said she deserved to know everything. Okay? He said she deserved to know everything. And by golly, did I.
Bro, this. Why is
Why
everything
are you
redacted?
redacting all
Why-
of this? This makes you look like a liar.
She
we
deserved to
don't-
know. This is such bull. Like this being redacted.
This is
Most
not
of
a
it-
government fucking document.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, when it's
And him
government, we don't
saying-
like it.
I fucked up. Like, okay, cool. You said like you feel really bad. Like him admitting that I fucked up and like because obviously he didn't act in whatever situation. Like that's not like an admission to sexual assault, which is what this is trying to frame.
Right.
I agree. In fact, I had 8 pages of proof that I had been telling him that for 2 fucking years.
8 pages. She just said 8 pages of proof. She said she just typed that up. That's not like proof of like tech, like printing out text or anything.
If you type up some things that you say happened, they're all still things that you're just saying happened, right?
Yeah.
You need actual evidence. That's the thing, and you can't
Right.
just like type it up, say it's official, and that counts as evidence.
Right.
Yeah, dude, trust me, bro, doesn't work.
So I sent it to her. If he had truly told her everything, this shouldn't have made a fucking difference, but it looks like it did. And in case he is denying having ever heard this, here is the exact date and time I told him about it, the exact
is not
I
denying I
unfortunately
ever
did
heard
not
of
record
that,
our
but-
conversations. But 10 days later, completely of his own accord, he reached out to me again to thank me again for this very real wake-up call. Okay?
Also, therapy is gay and doesn't work. No, more proof. Anyway,
Yeah, there you go. This is the thing. Like, therapy gets used as a scapegoat, and this is like fucking bad for Daniel. It's like, oh, I fucked up. I need to go to therapy. Like, that will wash me of my sin, right?
yeah, it's like, oh, let me go to confessional, baby, and then it's fine.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
I have proof that he heard this and that he thanked me for it. I have proof.
that doesn't mean anything. Like, thank you. I'm glad that you spoke your truth. Like, what does that mean?
He said she deserved to know the truth, and I have proof that she asked me for the truth.
Again, what does that mean?
Weeks after that happened, I made my video, a conversation about manipulation, consent, and assault. I did not think he was keeping tabs on me.
Bullshit.
7 years.
Bullshit. 7 weeks they had no contact after like the whole like conversation with the girlfriend and that the 8 pages or whatever. But her saying that she like I didn't believe that he would pay tabs on me. Bullshit. There ain't no way he's not gonna like curiously look up some videos every now and again of you. After sending him like all that stuff and like accusing him of, I don't know if she accused him back then, accused him of SA or any of the stuff that was going on. I'm like,
Well, it's not like she's painting it like he's admitting guilt. So yeah,
or that he's like some crazy stalker for like checking up on it. It's like, bro, we've all fucking checked up on people for way less shit. Like,
Yeah. J'accuse.
yeah.
Yeah.
At the time I received the cease and desist,
Also, it doesn't mean that people aren't going to share the link with him. Like,
I was already going through something. I was already dealing with some trauma. Oh, and by the way, he knew that I already had PTSD from previous trauma. I was already going through some shit. But this
okay.
made it so much worse. And watching you, even though they blocked you, I kept that video fucking vague. What I am saying,
it's on YouTube though. They blocked her from like personal communication. We don't know what happened. But like that again, it's on YouTube. It doesn't mean that her friends can't share a video. Like, is this you or something like that? Who knows? Fucking
also most people who are friends have more than one friend in common. It's not like a closed 2-person thing.
Right.
is that he said it was about him, and that he threatened to sue me if I didn't take it down within 24 hours.
Without context, again, that seems like an overreaction with the cease and desist. Oh yeah.
But I left it up, and it's been up for almost 2 years. I know people are going to ask me why I didn't say something earlier. I wasn't ready. I mean, fuck, I thought I was ready, but I Jesus Christ. I guess not. But I have to do this.
Yeah.
Again.
I don't know, boys.
Yeah.
Let's split up, gang.
I don't think I will ever truly know peace if I allow him to silence me.
Again, I wanted to point out though that like her video before this had 200 something views. Like all of her views have changed now because of this, but like she was struggling to get like 500 views, and it's just like she has over 100,000 subs. So it's like her channel is fucking dead. I don't know how she makes her money, but like it ain't from YouTube. So it's just like there is incentive to do this. I mean, like so like, oh, if he takes down my social media, maybe she has a big TikTok. I don't know that, right? But like, if he takes down your YouTube channel, like that's not gonna affect you. You're not making shit off of it.
And in case you're wondering if there have been any allegations against Daniel, there was. He told me about it.
Yeah, this allegation seems bad, but again, it's just a random post on Tumblr. It's like we can't take that any like seriously with
Also, look at what this is, how this is phrased too. Uses social justice issues for his own gain as a white straight man.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't. Yeah. This doesn't. I don't know.
About it.
This is coming
the only
across as like a weird.
Again, it's probably another girl that he was sleeping with on the side. He
Yeah.
probably did sleep with a lot of girls on the side.
But no receipts though. That's
reason I know about it. He told me it was false, and that there's no way it could be true because he wasn't there at the time.
So this is interesting. I will say this is like, well, you said one thing, maybe you remembered more information later, but you said that he was not even like in the country, I think, at that point.
Turns out he told Discord something different. He told Discord he was there, but he was only
Yeah, he said that he was there to like visit his dad. Again, same situation. He's visiting his dad.
His dad lives everywhere, by the way. Just
yeah, Nashville, Vegas. Yeah.
there to visit his father. So, I'm not saying that a conversation about manipulation, consent, and assault is about Daniel. I never did. I go to Vegas often to get tattooed. My mamba batok lives there. My spirit dad.
what?
I don't
What was
know.
that? What was that word, dude?
what.
Mamba,
Yeah.
mamba, that dog.
Mamba bab.
Cultural practitioner and traditional Filipino tattooer.
tattoo.
That's
really
a made up
the
thing.
definition of that on screen, Bats?
Mamba batak.
Just what?
Mamba batak. There
That's
you
kind
go.
of like acknowledging. I don't know, man. That's acknowledging that how kind of pointless that was. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's emotional manipulation
I know.
of how like important this. Dude, the craziest thing is about I think is about to come up.
Mamba batok lives there. My spirit dad.
spirit dad.
I have to say something.
So just some dude.
I want to fucking breathe again. Oh, fucking Jesus, I thought I was done crying about this.
I mean, again, it's like I don't want to be like the one to be like, are those real tears?
Dry
But
cheek.
again, like on her website, go to her website, you will see she's listed as an actor first, and the first thing that's clipped is her crying. And I'm like, I don't see, I don't know, like,
Can you compare it? Like maybe that's one of the steps in this investigation, right? Like,
I don't think we have the time, but like,
right.
Yeah.
Something to do though.
If he did the things that I mentioned in that video, then that would mean it's a pattern. And if I woke up one day and saw another allegation somewhere, I would never forgive myself for saying nothing. Because Daniel likes to take his friends traveling.
yeah, like nobody's saying like friends traveling without you gotta fuck. You gotta fuck.
So Bats, about that camping trip I invited just you on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she put friends in quotes too. So like, okay, so you imply it's like something else there.
I
he
went
flying-
to the
is he
store and got a
flying
bunch
bitch?
of poppers. I don't know what they do, but you wanted them for some reason.
yeah.
I wonder
What
if
is
they'll
a
sue me over
plastic
this.
fist Vaseline in a XL condom? It's not weird.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that other video is about him. I never did. This one's about him, and all I'm doing is
I never did.
sharing the cease and desist.
It just
all I'm
was.
doing is
Heavily
sharing the fact that
implying it's about him now.
he was keeping tabs on me even weeks after our
Again, he's keeping tabs on me. He's a stalker. Fucking YouTube video.
He posted it
Our
publicly.
friendship
What do
ended.
Yeah. And it was probably shared to him because somebody who knows him probably was like, "Is this about you?"
Yeah.
and that he watched my video,
7
and that he
weeks.
said it was about him, even though I never did, and that he went to a law firm and told them it was about him, and that he sent a lawyer after me to bark like a fucking dog and threaten me into silence. He threatened to sue me, he threatened to bury me under legal fees, he threatened to wipe me off of social media if I didn't take that video down in 24 hours.
All right, we got it.
It's gonna happen again, I guarantee you. Anytime I saw that little notification on my phone, it was his lawyer again. I spent a good year of my life looking over my shoulder, even though, even if I never say who the fuck it was, apparently he was gonna come after me for it. That's gonna happen again if I post this.
It's again. Everybody knew who you were talking. Like the internet finds that shit out so quickly.
Yep.
That's the problem with
But I wanna
sharing
feel okay.
everything you do online. People,
Yeah.
if they want to know, they will know.
Right. Well, also I'll say like when I saw the video this morning, it only had like 3,000 something views. That's
now it's
nothing.
gonna be a lot. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's already past 6,000, probably 7,000. And it's just like, if he didn't send the cease and desist, like he basically was like, you know, Streisand affecting this kind of, you know, unless she didn't say anything, but you know.
Again. Will not let him silence. I think his followers will not let him bury this the way he likes.
Yeah, okay.
It's things
She's
to get
sending
because
the
as his
same
own
stuff
lawyer,
she's already put up
as a
on
medical
screen.
professional, liar and a cheater. He is a vile.
Again, this is just dishonest, showing this very curated text messages.
Despicable human being, and the first thing I did when our friendship ended, I went to YouTube, I clicked on an icon of his video, and I hit do not recommend channel.
And that doesn't really do anything, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, it's like she's trying to paint the sensible position and that he is a crazy stalker. Again, this is very manipulative.
Because I never wanted to see his face again. Daniel is a vile, despicable human being. And the kind of man who would pressure one of his own best friends into sexual things while he's sober and awake, knowing very well that they are half asleep and on drugs. He is the kind of man to keep tabs on them, watch their videos, and hire a lawyer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, hey guys, a lot of girls would be consensually cool with you having sex with them, like high, like really high or drunk or whatever. Just don't.
Just don't.
Right.
Just don't. But
Right. Just don't do it. Yeah.
It's morally fine, but like, you know, especially
I disagree with that part, but that's that's okay.
well, if it's consented upon beforehand, especially, I think it's fine. But like, you're
I still don't recommend. I still don't recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. That's the main crux of the issue here.
This is
I don't have sex with my own wife if she's drunk and I'm not.
This is just another example, though, of how you got to be vigilant and dodge thoughts, man. You got to dodge these thoughts because I actually have a personal experience with this. Some women will plant themselves.
Oh yeah.
From
They
the
will.
beginning, that's the goal. From the beginning, that's the goal: is to embed. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait for the right moment. And like, I mean, for all we know, I'm going to assume, just like we can assume the worst about the male in this situation. Let's flip that and reverse the role a little bit and assume the worst for the female. Like, what's the worst thing? Well, the worst thing could be like, this is the whole reason they're friends to begin with, from the beginning, right? And this could be like the ultimate power play, and this is just everything she was able to gather in the 2 years. In the 2 years, according to his fiance, or something like that, right? 2 years, over
Again,
a year.
I'm standing by the she was hoping it was going to be a permanent relationship.
Right.
Yeah, she was my running theory. She was the side piece for years.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Kayla finds out, things go bad.
Well, I personally have had like a female, at least one. I can't remember if there's probably.
Why don't you brag about that?
Yeah. I get it.
I had more than one female,
in
but
different circumstances, I probably would suspect something else. I'm not saying it's out of the possibility, but yeah.
To try and threaten them into silence. He is the kind of man that would threaten a lawsuit in which I never identified.
There's like one more
I was
piece I
talking
really
about.
want to get to in this, and then we're done with it.
That's the kind of man he is. If I disappear, you'll know who did it. I wonder if he'll go to the
Disappear?
same lawyer.
wow.
What do you mean? Like
Totally
hire a
professional.
hitman? What?
I
Yeah.
think she's saying disappear from the internet. But
If I
again, it's
if I disappear,
Right.
you know who did it.
This was the revised
Alright.
version. It was titled
Oh, I'm sorry.
Revised Cease and Desist.
I'm trying to produce.
But they threatened
it's
defamation on a video that never said it was about blank email half an hour before the real one. So he might go with this by the pool.
Yep. I'm just hanging out at this pool at this resort, high as shit, waiting for my friend who's about to get on the flight. That's totally in a faithful relationship. That's totally not going to be here to bang me. I
Yeah.
didn't read this.
She does look stoned out of her mind, though. They say, back me up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Freaking
I mean,
the tongue can't even commit to being out. It's just like,
and the picture was taken with purpose too. So like, and most importantly, she seems really happy. Really.
I mean, this is
excited.
before the incident. So
Right.
you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, excited.
4/20 of 2024. Is this
Well, if you knew that this was, again, man.
Was that an Instagram post trying to like get attention over this?
Yeah.
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 See,
Again, yeah. It's like why are you putting this in? It's not like evidence or anything. This is feel bad for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not having that this year. I blow up. I don't want this to blow up.
I don't want this to blow up. I'm just gonna put his name in the title. I'm just gonna put from Daniel Greene. I don't want this to blow up, guys. It's not like me.
Guys, seriously, stop sharing this video. I don't want it to.
Stop it.
You could literally play her going, "I don't want this to blow up," and then in the very
Show the
next,
numbers alongside.
Well, hold on. In the very next frame, she's like, "I couldn't stand the thought of seeing even one victim, so I knew I had to speak." So, like, which is it? Do you not want this to blow up, or do you want to like actually help?
Yeah. Again. Yeah. Man, Kahuna, you're not doing well.
Yeah, I'm suffering, dude. Sorry.
I just can't stay silent. And with him getting away with it, I never said it was about him. I said he threatened to. I will not let him silence.
Just says you can go to her thing and check it out.
Okay, so it is showing all the pages, but
yeah.
Hey guys, it is 8 in the morning and I touched up my roots yesterday, so I got split. I'm back on another day to finish this. Let's talk about day number 2.
Says she's back on another day. She's wearing the same outfit.
yeah, it's the same outfit.
Okay, that take too long, so forgive me. Okay.
Yeah, I love when people take their, they edit something and they leave in the takes where they're crying.
Yeah.
Day number 2. We discussed the fact that it never should have happened over breakfast. After breakfast, on the way back, he stopped by an ATM, and I told him I didn't want his money because he said he wanted to spoil me as a friend.
But that he said he was going to spoil you beforehand, so you did
Friend. And he said, no, I promise you, just friends. It never should have happened, never happening again, just friends. I told you I wanted to spoil you. Right, this was a last-minute tattoo appointment. It was last minute. My mom Babathok said, I have a cancellation for tomorrow. Do you want a spot? And I said, oh my god, yes, I'll ask my friend, but to be honest, his opinion doesn't matter. I want to get fucking tattooed. So the appointment was at 4. We got back to the hotel. I went to the pool. He stayed in the hotel room for hours. I stayed by the pool, eating it.
Yeah, in the shower, like, oh no, oh, I fucked up. Maybe.
Yeah.
Eventually he came out, we hung out there for a little bit, and then I had to go to my appointment. And he was going to come with. So we went back to the hotel room. And as soon as we were alone again, guess who went back?
Pause.
Against his word.
Sorry, there's a really obvious thing that's not being pointed out here.
Yeah.
This happens, and you are hanging out the next day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
And he's
No.
gonna come to your appointment with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Yep.
shot. This
Again,
is a lie.
It's
this whole
backed
thing
up
is
to
bullshit, dude.
the next video, which. I'm sorry, this is the fun.
As soon as we were alone again, he started pressuring me all over again. And I said repeatedly, we just talked about this over breakfast. We just talked about this. We just said, we're just friends. Never happening again. Shouldn't have happened.
Just
And
lick
he
it.
kept saying, oh, what's the difference? We already did it once. What's the difference? I had a fucking tattoo appointment.
It's the same thing over and over again. She is saying this is sexual assault, right?
Yeah.
And then the other video that we'll show shortly is saying otherwise.
I had somewhere to fucking be. Both times he jerked himself off onto me. Except the second time, it was worse. Because he also shoved his dick in my mouth. I remember my mouth was so fucking dry from the edibles. And it was all so fast.
I'm sorry,
He came all over my buttock, which is sacred.
Wait,
Oh.
sorry, did you hear that?
Okay.
This is the part I've been trying to get to.
All over
He
my
came-
butthole.
No, buttock, or holy buttock.
Whatever.
And was given to me for sexual healing because my buttock, which is sacred.
She's again, he desecrated my
Holy
tattoo. And it's like, well, yeah, he's coming on your face or chest. It's like, what is, and it's like, what is the point of this? Like, a guy's never trying to come on your chest and hit your tattoo for sexual healing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Isn't that why it's there? Yeah.
It's like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
It's good. We're trying to make it worse, you know.
I could see I was still on the fence about this whole thing, but you would not be hanging out with this person the next day.
No.
You're not a child. You're not under his power. Unless you just are really wanting someone's money. There's no reason for this to be happening.
Yeah. And then if that's the case, then that's kind of the understanding that you have with yourself then at that point. Like, oh, he did this, but yeah, come to my appointment with me. Sure.
He Louis CK'd me twice again, all over my sacred tattoo. Anyway,
it hurt. It was painful. Like,
well, again,
twice.
If it was true about the pressuring, right, that he pressured me into it, that's not okay. That's potentially illegal as well.
Yeah.
But again, the next video.
To me for sexual healing because of things that I have been through in my past, and he knows that. And then
why wasn't he thinking about my sexual healing tattoo when he was coming on my chest?
The fucked up answer is maybe he was. No,
maybe he was.
Yeah, right.
Maybe he assumed that's why it's there.
If you're doing something wrong already, does it make it more taboo? I don't know, dude. It's making me ask questions I don't want answers to.
Yeah.
So he cannot say that he made a mistake and it was a one-time thing. He did it twice. Both times I repeatedly tried to talk him out of it, and both
because you guys probably fucking way longer than this, but
times he jerked himself
like,
off.
you know what? Fine, you're not going to be with me. I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.
Both times he said,
but that is extra scummy to his girlfriend. He's just like, I already cheated, so might as well cheat again.
Yeah.
Big things while doing it. And then I went and I got tattooed.
Yeah.
And it was really painful, and I went into shock. And I feel like it might have saved me.
All right. So, I'm going to skip all this.
The tattoo saved you?
So, she's going into...
glaze over that?
Yeah. She's going into PTSD shock right now. And it goes on from now...
To the end?
To the end. She left in like 10 minutes of her just crying.
Yeah.
For what reason other than to emotionally manipulate the audience? It's crazy. And then you have it like it just ends on this note.
Also, I forgot to mention that I
dramatic
did
effect.
report this to the Las Vegas police.
What?
That I didn't? Is that what she said?
No, she did. She did.
Okay, show us the report.
Yeah.
Well, again, the report doesn't matter. So we gotta pull up this again. Like,
Hey
don't worry about
guys,
the time.
it is 8 in the morning.
She's very repetitive in this, so we're not gonna go over it all.
Also, what is she getting? What tattoo
Morning,
work is she having done? It doesn't look like she has any more tattoos. Anyway,
She said it was on her spine.
Oh, okay.
And that's why she went to shock, and I guess it made her like forget about whatever. So I don't know. It's whatever.
My roots yesterday, so I got splodges. A discussion. I was just gonna do this on Instagram, but I want to hear from like more people, so I figured I
So
would.
okay, for context, this is the video that she recorded after the whole Daniel debacle initially. So this is a while ago.
Yeah, this is like as soon as she got home after. Yeah.
Make an actual video, and ask YouTube as well.
Well, not when she got home, after she had the conversation with Daniel and Kayla and you know, all that stuff.
Genuinely feel like manipulation and intent and all that should be included in the conversation of assault. For example, about 2 months ago, I had a friend turn out to not be a friend because he did shit I didn't want, he coerced me, all that. He basically went home and then was like, "You really had the worst of me," and then blocked me and hasn't spoken to me since.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
This is all a very different story. This is
Already it's
we
completely
need to
different.
redefine the term of sexual assault to include other things that are not included. And he was my friend, and then he went home and just said we're not friends and blocked me.
Yeah, that's a completely different story already.
Yeah.
About 2 months ago, I had a friend turn out to not be a friend because he did shit I didn't want, he coerced me, all that.
So he coerced me, right? That sounds bad, but let's see why she's saying coerced.
He basically went home and then was like, "You've been at the worst of me," and then blocked me and
You brought out the worst of me and then blocked me.
hasn't spoken to me since. And on one hand, there was a part of me that was like, well, that was assault, but there
So at no point she's saying I told him no and he still pressured me. That's not what's happening.
Yeah.
was another part of me that was like, you didn't fucking fight back, so, you know. And I was basically this man's therapist. It was really fucking...
second, dude. You didn't fight back?
Well, she's saying she didn't argue or anything. Like she consented, is what she's saying.
Yeah.
And that stays true throughout this. Is she's saying she consented to the sexual experience, but other circumstances make it not consent somehow.
Yeah.
He paid for my tattoo. It wasn't consent.
Yeah, the shaping perspective of a human being over time and
Bro,
hindsight.
Yeah, this is...
I slowly unraveled his story and figured it out and kind of figured out why he does what he does. You know, it was all like a revelation to him, and now he's in therapy, blah, blah, blah. I recently got in contact with somebody he assaulted 7 years ago. And as she and I have...
Again, she's saying she had conversation with this person. She was willing to show receipts, and you never showed receipts to this other person.
You can black out their name. Yep, you can just black out their name.
It has become reasonably clear that none of what I figured out was a revelation. This man has been doing the same things, he has been using the same excuses, he's been manipulating and lying and coercing for almost a decade.
A man lied about himself to get in bed with you? Oh,
well, I never.
Audacity! I've never
done that. I've never done this.
No! How dare they?
I would never say something I don't believe is true to sleep with a woman I'm attracted to. It's never happened.
We're not co-signing what he did. Like this is
if this is true, we're not co-signing.
Well, co-signing the whole talking, leading her on, cheating with his girlfriend. None of that, all that. But it's just like guys lie about themselves all the time to girls.
I had a woman once, and she was talking about oh, you're a Capricorn. I'm like, guess I am. Sure.
Guess I am.
So we've all done stupid shit.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, okay, looking into laws and stuff like that. Every law is explicitly like, if you did something and then you regret it after, it's not assault.
Yeah.
But they don't take into account how good so many predators are at lying and setting up the situations.
That's on you.
I said
it's
yes,
still a scummy thing. To lie about you, it's still a scummy thing. Well, especially dude, if you're fucking 18, whatever, not a big deal. Daniel's older, shouldn't be doing that shit, right? But I'm like, bro, if a guy lies to you to get in bed, that is not sexual assault.
It's like, bro, I signed up to fuck a Saudi prince, and he wasn't a Saudi prince.
It's something we've always seen. It's called shitty behavior.
Well, imagine this. Imagine this.
Bad morals, yeah.
Imagine this. A murderer sleeps with her, right? And then after they sleep together, she finds out he was a murderer, and then she regrets having sex with him. Did the murderer also commit sexual assault?
No.
No. No.
He apparently committed murder at some point, but no, he did not commit that's not sexual assault all of a sudden.
Again, look into how much this backs up my theory about it's like he decided not to choose
this video is wild.
He was telling her, I'm going to choose you. We're going to have such a happy life. Which, again, also another thing, too, sometimes it's true at the moment. Guys get
he could have
horned up, they get gooned up, and they're like, they say things that they shouldn't, but it didn't mean they didn't mean it.
They say crazy shit, they get that post nut clarity, and they're like, fuck yeah.
Dude, post nut. Oh, dude, that's some real shit.
And also, he could have just been leading her on, dude. It's a shitty thing to do, but it's not that far from reality.
It's not sexual assault like the other video was saying. So it's like you have to denounce this video.
Mhm.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you have to denounce.
I found this
yourself.
conversation with him that I had actually taken a photo of. Basically, when I got back from Vegas, which is where he did it,
Building the case.
we were still friends, but my mind was like, yeah, no, that was fucked up. You need to start, capturing the proof, because this man never said anything unless he was on.
It was fucked up because he led her on, and then he decided to break ties, or not break ties, but like
That
we're
just
just
sounds
friends.
like dating.
Yeah.
Like video chat or in person. But reading that conversation that I'd photographed, it was so clear that he knew exactly what to say. Nothing he said was incriminating. Everything was like a... Anyway, basically, the point is, if I had been the only person, I would have been like, okay, that was fucked up. You piece of shit. Go to therapy. But it's,
She got tricked, and now she's accusing him of sexual assault. Fuck, dude.
discovering that
This
it was all
completely
pre-
invalidates her entire new video, by the way.
This is what I've been saying, guys.
Both
Yeah.
both what she's saying and the way she's saying it, the kind of conversation, it's not the same. Yeah, this is complete horseshit, dude. Now, to be fair, maybe she fully believes it. I was married to a woman who lived a double life for years. The only way you live that kind of life is if you really believe your own lie.
Yeah.
Maybe she's one of these women. I don't know.
She has on her, like, whatever profile, her website or something like that she has BPD.
Well, that excuses all of it.
Well, yeah, well, obviously it doesn't excuse any of it, but it explains all of it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear actually what you said. That's my bad.
She has
BPD.
bipolar disorder.
Some people, by the way, some people don't even believe in that. Just so you know, even though it's like
I think some people say they have it and they don't. I think
That too.
that.
Oh, yeah.
exists, but-
Well, I think most of, like, she's got like a laundry list of like issues, and it's just like, yeah, of course you have all these issues.
Look at how many tattoos she has. Of course she has issues. Sorry.
It's like all the people that claim that they're autistic and they're not. They just want to be special. Or people that claim that they're non-binary because they want to be special.
Well, like AC, you can acknowledge this because like there are a lot of people like you who like just have a lot of tattoos, or because that's been your aesthetic. It's been built over a period of years. But you know a lot of people who are like, I have these tattoos because I don't have a personality.
Oh, there are a lot of people
pervasive,
like that.
yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm just as fucked up as the next person with tattoos. It's just not in the same way where I want to start scamming people and like doing terrible things to people. It's in my own way, like, just through struggle, right?
I will say it doesn't look like she has basic bitch tattoos, so I'll give her that. Right?
I'll give her that. Yeah.
I don't know what the red ink one there is though. It looks
that
like
one. That one.
That's a shitty tattoo.
Yeah.
And it was all planned. And for 3 years, it was just like manipulating and building up to this. And he's been doing it for 7 years. It's kind of like, at that point, 100%, it is assault.
Nope.
And then you look at other, this happened.
No.
It's not. It's 100% not assault. What? Again, it's like
He played the long game.
The long game.
Oh,
He
wrote a book about it called The Long
Nut.
Nut. The Long Nut. That's what it's about. Anyway, sorry.
Well, also probably what happened too. It's like what a lot of guys do, like today's age. They keep multiple women on to see which one's going to work out, and then they'll like never break it off with one of them, and
Well, it's like, oh, I'm in a relationship, but I've been talking to this girl forever. I'm not going to totally cut that off.
Yeah.
I'll wait till later.
She was telling this girl that they were going to have a life together, and that's not what ended up happening. And
I see
It's quite a
bad
lot where I'm just going to use men and women.
I see bad morals, but not like I don't think I.
nothing,
I just
nothing close to SA.
I just watched
Right.
Groundhog Day. According to her logic in this video, what he did was SA.
In
In
Groundhog.
Groundhog Day. Yeah, it's like he manipulated me. He knew things he shouldn't have known, and I fell for it. So therefore, assault. Yeah.
Women as an example, you can swap the genders and not all men, but I'm just going to, it's for example. There's a lot of men, not all, that will date and say things that basically make the person they're dating feel as though, okay, they are looking for long term. This is something that.
What? No.
So you were dating.
That guy has never said that they were gonna probably have a relationship just to have a one night stand.
Like, guys, riddle me this. It's like, yeah, I'll leave her for you. I promise. We're just I just gotta figure out the best way to do it. Yeah. Story as old as time, dude. This isn't Brock.
And then he starts realizing, hey, there might be some weird extortion going on just by the way she's acting.
That's what I'm saying. I think she told Kayla she finally came forward with the truth because she was hoping that he would have to be forced. She would be forced to break up with him. It was not in her plans for her to stay with Daniel, which Daniel was probably given a huge ultimatum. You need to block this chick. You need to never talk to her. You need to go to therapy and you need to like figure shit out. And like, or else we're just not going to work out together. That's probably what happened.
Furthermore, if she has a written down diagnosis of BPD from a doctor, then it's highly likely that, I don't know, man, someone like that's who does some
crazy shit.
That's who orchestrates it. Yeah.
Well, it's like, did she have bad shit happen in her life? Probably.
Yeah, look at her, dude. She's not stable.
Probably. Yeah.
Amber Heard, BPD.
That they're going for. Eventually they reach a point where they're like, okay, yep, I will sleep with this person. That person, woman in this situation, she is consenting to an intimate experience with someone that she has trusted and is getting to know and wants to be with her in the long term and has essentially made her feel that way emotionally. And then a lot of times they'll fuck and then the guy will be like, all right, peace. That's assault.
No, it's not!
It's just like, it's crazy to me. Nobody in the Discord looked at this. Like, everyone's just like, Daniel assaulted a woman. And they're like, she's saying right here that it's not assault, but she's redefining assault.
That's the whole purpose of this video.
I fell for the oldest trick in the book, assault.
It's also probably doesn't help too because like Daniel's very successful in his channel and stuff like that. Her channel's fucking dead. So it's like, yeah.
And then, if the woman is like, well, okay, fuck. Now I feel completely used. I feel completely violated. Especially when it comes to the things of, you thought you were going to have some kind of sex and then he did something that you didn't fucking want. But then the police are like, but you consented to it. Now you're just regretting it afterwards.
Whoa.
Does that not sound like what happened? And it sounds like her regret is because he lied about something. That doesn't get assault.
She just said, especially when you think that there's supposed to be an agreed upon type of sex and then he does something else.
Right, which also brings you to her claims of there was never anything planned.
Yeah.
She fucking said that. And she's promoting this. This is her own video, and she had this in the description of the other video, right?
This is like Miss Alana, like that VTuber girl who like just looks at women posting their L's online.
Right.
This is like that.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where I'm like, oh, like nobody's stupid enough to fall for this story, right? With these two videos being linked, and it's like, well, I guess people are that stupid. They're
listening to one video, not looking at the inconsistencies in the one video. Like just the inconsistencies in that video were enough to convince me, but watching this video, it's so abundantly clear.
Well, like, okay, so the original one's right at 100K, right? It's about to be pop 100K. This still hasn't even got to 10K. It was at like 3K this morning. I think that's what it was at 3K probably forever. Since it was like published. Never really got much attention. Now it's getting more attention, but obviously it's not really getting attention.
Holy fuck, that was even more of a haymaker than the over years line from the fiance. Like the fiance saying over years, it's like, whoa, what? How long? Yeah. And then now her, in her own words, saying like agreed upon type of sex, and then he tries something else. What are you talking about? It sounds like he wanted
also, that's never happened in the bedroom from either side.
Right.
Guy and a girl are together, one of them tries something a little different.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Wow, dude. I wonder how long it's going to take for her to take.
What the hell is the next like 4 minutes of this video play?
She does a lot of repeating herself. So
yeah, I'm sure.
What do you think? Obviously, this would just open a can of worms for a whole bunch of other problems and, false reports and shit. But I genuinely believe that intent and manipulation needs to be a part of the conversation when it comes to consent. Especially, when you look into laws, it's like, okay, what counts as sexual assault? Non-consensual penetration. If you look into the laws in Nevada, in Vegas, it is only assault if there was penetration. Otherwise, you have to file under, grossness.
I'll say this. Apparently, he just jerked off on her, but apparently he did try to, like your story said he did. The story is shifting. It's so much. It's like,
changed.
It's changed so much, and especially the accusations that you had there, and like here, it's just like, what is going on here?
Yeah, and you're so nonchalant here. This isn't. I thought this was going to be 9 minutes of fake crying. No, you're completely fine.
It's 2 months after you've had 8 pages written, you've had all this communication with him, and you're talking about like redefining assault, and you're not talking about like, oh no, I was
situation
SA'd.
Right. And then in the other video, she had the nerve to show a before and after picture of her, like, oh look, all clean and happy, and then after Daniel, and it was
before Daniel. Oh, yeah, it's makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
Weird pattern. Like, there's too much going on here. She's just trying to blend into her background, I think, with her tattoos.
I'm happy for her in this video. This is exciting for her. Her future looks bright once she wins this lawsuit that she's orchestrating.
Well, she's not gonna
in Minecraft.
There's gonna be no lawsuit, probably.
I'm
just waiting for if you whipped out your dick in public.
I'm still waiting for the countersuit from Daniel, where we find out she's the one who essayed him, and it's all pegging. Yeah.
She peer pressured me into taking. I took one of the marijuanas.
Yep.
And
yep. She seems like the one. I mean, I don't know, man.
You get no. I see what you're like. You get vibes from people.
Yeah.
And you've been around like people like this. I know you have.
Oh yeah. Same tattoos, bro. Not even gonna lie. Same tattoos.
The blacked-in koi fish.
I actually got the stencils back there.
Yeah.
So you have to either be flat out assaulted, and then there's no other middle ground. I'm fine, as fucked up as it was, and it did make my PTSD go through the roof. And that's another thing. Obviously, anyone watching this that's kind of been through some fucked up emotional manipulation, that leaves you with PTSD as well. It's not just the physical assault that fucks people up.
I can see her watching a sad dog scene in her head.
Yeah.
She's watching the end of Marley and Me in her head right now. She's like, you can do this. You're an actor.
I'm fucking gonna listen to her cry again for whatever. But like, bro, I'm just saying that's the evidence. So
dude. Unless he comes out and like says, yeah, dude, I messed up. I did this. Which could totally happen. Legitimately, she could just be a very bad person to convey all this information.
Yes.
Maybe he's a piece of crap, and maybe like something very like non-consensual, nefarious did happen, and she is just presenting it in the worst imaginable, inconsistent way as you could possibly do.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking video will get us tagged.
At the very least,
Did you just have a video called Fetish?
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's got a lot more views now. It's at 10K.
It does, dude.
It was at 6K, which I'm like, bro.
It's all Daniel just watching. Stop.
Dude, look, it's like her fucking tits are out, and I'm like, man. Well, now it's got more views, but like, dude, I got a video with more views just talking about orcs being black rings of power.
Well, it had let's be honest. It had 7K views when you mentioned. I believe when this was brought up, this video was brought up.
It had 6K when I saw it.
6K in the screenshot, and then now it's double digits. So it's climbing exponentially. With my own band exploding recently, I know that is actually a huge incentive for her to do this, guys.
Well,
each of those views is a performance, by the way.
Look, again, this doesn't equate like evidence necessarily, but like, dude. Over 100,000 subs.
Mm-hmm.
She posted a video that got 265 views.
1,000 views, 149 views.
We are getting more views.
People are not liking the audiobooks,
bruh. We have 300 and something subs. We're getting more views.
Lazy vegan vlog. I can't imagine
none of us.
So
interesting video.
Did she pay for exactly? Did she pay for her subs? Is that what I'm seeing here?
No. She's just an old channel. She's a dead channel.
Just
12
old.
years ago.
Whoa, she's been on the scene for a minute.
Yeah. Well, 12 years ago, she had views that are,
more comparable.
What she got 1.4 million views.
Oh yeah, look, like she has one tattoo. She has no tattoos like in these old videos. Yeah.
She got the money from those videos.
She started 16 years ago. Oh god.
Holy crap, dude.
As a musician. Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, she does music videos.
She just strumming it on Omegle back in the day and like videotaping it. That sounds really bad. That's not what I mean, anyway, never mind.
I think if she got back into that, I think a lot of people could,
doesn't seem like it based on her views, but yeah.
But it's whatever. It's neither here nor there. But like, guys, if you made it this far, hopefully you made it this far. Hopefully you got like the really good evidence. But I feel like we have to show it in a proper timeline.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to edit this at all. But let us know what you think in the comments. Are we crazy to be pointing this out?
In the context of both videos, are we just way off base? Because I really don't think so.
It's like, is this not crazy just to throw him away for like this? What I think is a fake essay accusation, or at least one with nothing like grounded. And I know people will get I know like there was like a huge storm when Dr. Disrespect cheated on his wife. People were really upset with him, and people left him for that.
Then they found out it was like a kid. They're like, oh,
well, that's another story. That's another story. But with the wife thing, I know that was enough for people to leave. To me, I'm like, whatever. That's nothing legal. Like, people aren't being assaulted. That's between you and your family. Like, terrible thing, but like, whatever. It's not as this. It's something a series of sexual assault, and how like, I'm like, are people gonna actually like look into this? This just seems crazy to me, because I don't think Daniel is in a position to be like, I'm going to show the receipts, and I'm also going to show like do a video like this and being like, see how she's double speaking or whatever.
Well, he's also the kind of guy who would say like believe all, who was like one of those hashtag believe all women kind of guys back in the day.
We're white knighting. We're white knighting. But yeah, I don't know. Like nobody on our side gives a fuck. They're like, cool, whatever. Like. They go libtard.
They're like, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to hear. Yeah.
It's like she said, like for people who aren't interested or don't know him, they're like, they see her start crying. All right, that's enough. Just throw him away. That was it. Yeah. I don't need to see anything else.
This was too big of news not to cover. But look, we on this channel we talk about we do a lot of book stuff. But we're mostly just about independent creations, comic books, music, and whatnot. So if that interests you and you're watching this video, please stick around. Check other stuff out, and
we'll be talking about Golden Sun here soon on another special, and
the Red Rising sequel.
A book we actually like. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, hey, good news about all this Daniel Greene cancellation. I don't know if he's ever going to come out with another book, but nobody's going to read it. It's probably not going to get a view, so we're probably not going to do it.
Oh no!
Or everybody.
Damn it! His books are so good.
Oh, shoot.
I loved all the therapy talk.
He names it Memoirs of a Predator. Just to get purchases.
Dude, somebody in the Discord put a meme, and it was like it was Daniel Greene, a gif of him in the Discord server being like. Looks like somebody did an oopsie.
No.
And he got muted. He got muted. They're like, read the room. I'm like, bro, that's hilarious.
that guy woke up and he's like, you know what? I'm okay getting kicked out of this server for a while.
He's like, I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the hero.
Later.
Peace.